with 10 seconds left. Both men knocked down in that round. There's the bell to start round 8. What is this round going to look like after all the drama of the previous round where both of these athletes went down?
One fighter got knocked down earlier, got back up again to knock him down. How are they going to walk back out of this into the next round?
And he scores with the counter. You both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
It's all offense all the time. A perfect counter lands. Neither fighter willing to slow down. Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the low.
Oh, my goodness, Johnny! And Deontay Wilder just got clipped.
Just engaging.
Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, and boom, back into it.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one.
Yeah, I still want it.
The judges have spoken a unanimous decision victory.
This is the last thing we expected.
This isn't about your fighting abilities you've heard.
Good evening. We are live from one of the world's most beautiful arenas. This is Falkor Bay. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
Hi, Todd. Nice to be here with you.
It's time for our tale of the tape. Up first, Freight Train. First up, Freight Train. Caleb's. This back. How will these two fighters handle? After months of uncertainty, we finally have a fight. What skill being displayed here between these two middleweights? That counter punch caught him clean. Beautiful counter punch. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Can't land the jab there. The sun is blazing this afternoon, and these two athletes are going to have to find a way to deal with it.
In such heat, the cornermen need to be able to do their job. Think about what they're doing. One to cool you down, one to ice you back, one to give you instructions in your head, and one to just calm you to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Because that's the most important thing. Forget about the heat. Forget about everything else.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
A perfect counter lands. Unlucky to miss with that jab. Nice counter. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Not a lot of defense here at all. Good counter punching. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close. And there's the bell for round two. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Nice counter shot. You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. That counter shot lands. Catch and shoot. This counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
Counterpuncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counterpuncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to...
Whoa, Johnny, take a look at this action. The building is going bananas. Will they see a huge upset here? And it appears the onslaught is over, at least for now.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. At this point, you got to believe he can't win. There's the bell for round three. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Punch, counter punch. There's a counter shot. Swing and a miss with that jab. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Good counter punch. Those counter punches have to hurt. Those who hold that thought. Where was the defense? Why weren't they covering up? Why weren't they more cautious? A perfect counter shot. They both want the knockout. Both men step back for just a moment. They are not going to let this one go to the judges. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. The game plan does not seem to... There's the bell for round 4. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. One punch could change anything when these two step in the ring. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is the heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. Do you know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous? That is what writes our history books.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well done with that counter shot. How about that time counter shot? Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Now this is the time that the trainer needs to make mistakes. Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
And he scores with the counter. The straight right just misses. They exchange punches. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Nice job blocking the hook. Nice counter shot. Pretty close fight here in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
So much firepower here. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there, these guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that on you. They're the size of an average man.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Seemed like an eternity for them finally comes to a close.
You know, I've been in...
Come on. This is the beginning of round 6. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on.
I gotta stop you here, Johnny, as we pick up the heat. So much for defensive abilities. I don't believe what we're seeing here.
Green Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. They both want a knockout, you can tell. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now dip.
And down goes Freight Train. Cue up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
That's lights out right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me your ball.
Well, they're back up now, but they've got to be cautious. Cannot afford to trade back now, can they, Johnny?
What resilience to be down and to be back up again, to get yourself back into fight again, to show your fitness and determination. Maximum respect.
You'd like to see more jabs. So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. So it's plant. And there's the bell for round 7. He got knocked down in the last round. Let's see what he can do here.
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They've staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
Beautiful counter shot. The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. He threw a punch and just got countered. And they figure out the combination to this sink.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. Stamina is off the charts. Cue up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
You're right, Todd. What a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What a huge momentum swing that's going to be, considering that round will be 10-8 after the knockdown.
I love the...
Don't want to lose this fight. And we enter the 8th round. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff him.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Nice counter punch. I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Every time they drop, are we about to see a first-round knockout? Weathered the storm. How? I'm not sure.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense. Work on defense. Blocking and stopping and shooting.
Beautiful counter shot. Straight right just misses. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Another win, another unanimous decision.